Good morning, folks. It's 10:10 a.m. on the first month, 23rd day, 2025. What I'm looking at here is an absolute geoengineered monster that is absolutely ripping up the turf in Queensland. We've had some terrible, terrible weather over the last 24 hours pop along this coastline. Yes, yes. So I want to go over some of these images because it's real hard to catch the cam unless you look at some of these temperatures inside this cloud here, like this hook signature here. That signs when I see stuff like this, I know this thing is going tornadic. But I told you the other day to expect it. And in case you're not familiar with what does a tornado sound like, it sounds like a train. Just like that, but it goes faster and faster and louder the closer it gets. Okay? So you hear that sound. Don't go outside with your camera. Don't go be standing at the glass. Get your ass in a bathtub and cover yourself in a mattress. Or if you're in an area that's open that has a ditch or something, just lie in it. Get low. Get in a culvert, as you are going to see tornado spawns tonight. And here's all the signatures of the geoengineer. And I'm not going to waste too much time. I'll give this splint of mine a real run for its money today. See if I can hold a pen. I'll show you obvious signs of chem bombs. And we'll use white today. You look inside this one area here, okay? We're going to draw our attention right to there. Okay, so I'm going to turn that off. First thing I see is squares, okay? See that square? But inside that square I see another square. So the corner of this turns into that, which makes that turn that direction, right? Then this square is turning into another square out here, causing that to turn. And as I zoom back, you'll see how square is turning square, it's turning square. You have two separate cells that have been created here, one down over here, and then I'll show you the beam coming up from Maury, as many of you very diligently spotted, and you can see some of the signs of its influence right about here as it goes off screen in that radar signature there, and the gap in the temperatures in these clouds. This is a very fresh deployment of chem here near Eidsvold, over there near Bunghole, Barbaria there. I don't know, I can't see it. Bunda how about I just call that the over here Yabba Dabba Doo? And Scooby needs a snack. All right, see that comma there? There's been an explosion here, and it sent some shells out right here. And they've left some flow gaps here for the inrush and outrush of airs and thermals from these colder temperatures that have been created. That's colder than that. That's what these temperatures will show. If you look here, you'll see a triangle of temperature differential right there. And that's evidence of a chem bomb. Yeah, there's ways to show this that they don't think we're smart enough to know. Well, when you underestimate your opponent, you very often lose the game. But the evidence of the Maury beam is very, very sharp through there, and it's one of the ways I can talk about a lot of the chem. I don't know what half those things are. So you got a lot of chem deployments. Again, you got the same kind as that over there going on here, and this is going to go tornadic. There's no doubt in my mind. And this is a very dangerous storm that has been geoengineered to impact you right now. The actual radar image itself from the last, this is the last hour, is pretty evident again, showing some of the bomb clusters in the actual how much rain has been nucleated by the deployment of the chemical catalysts that have been used to fuel, blow up, maintain, and aim these storms in the directions where Agenda 2030 wants to land. And they want big casino here. You see the square form to this again. When you zoom back, you see the square forms of scalar square energies, which NextRads can do this. It's not just the HARP field of square antennas that can do this particular thing. So I see the scalar square here. Right, so you see over Eidsvold, where the big thing going on, we have another overlapping square here and another one here. So that just took energy to fire into the atmosphere to create those. Not sure if the Bradshaw effect is going on, but I've been watching. It looks like some tensor tools are reacting to the weather over there on that side of the bay. This storm here has been spinning, but it seems to be feeding into this. It's been independently rotating this one here, so that one's going to bear watching as the night goes on. So let's go back to this image here. I'm going to show you geoengineered. If you want to hear fucking what the official excuses are, you might want to go to the Bureau of Morons malarkey over there and just hear their bullshit about glitches that I show you are affecting cloud dynamics. Because there's a big glitch going on right now. And a wicked glitch is flying again. And this time I determined it was actually Maury. From more images than just this one here. This radar that's doing its bastard blasted. See if I time this right. This should show you the beam. Now right here. Let's give you the red. Right here. This beam is actually, because I've seen other pictures of it, it's come all the way down to here. And when I pulled up my my sat view and did my determinants, the beam is about 414 kilometers long. Yeah, this is where it went up. And it had a little width to it. And the station that fired the shot is this one. So this is what's doing that. And thank you everybody for pointing it out to me. Of course I was going to look, but what if I didn't? Right? So you have quite a few devices over here. And that's the next rad. And this is a field of other weather monitoring equipment, of which I can't quite state what it is. Some will be barometers, some of it will be wind, some of it will be smelling farts. Who knows what gases are being sampled in the atmosphere. And it might be other radar arrays over there that I don't know about. And so that's located right over there. So I did my determinants about that. It's right over there near the runway. Just go mark your map. Right? Because this is right off the BOM right here. So it had quite an effect. So what it did is it hemmed the count. In other words, it forces things in that direction to outflow towards that. Right, so it ran into another EMF line. So it actually pushes that line like a lever arm. You know, if I have a fulcrum here and I have another board here and I move one of these, it'll go on an angle, right? It's just a sweep, and everything in its way is pushed. That's why I say it's hemming the count. And I do see some offshore motion today that's showing me about what's going to absolutely devastate this area that's being lit up right here. See that there, that's pretty much the flow boundary that's been created for this storm. Let me see if I can place that, and I'll show you. Boy, are you guys getting fried straight style. More beams. There, that's a good shot of it. And we can pull this up. Pull it up, pull it up. Yeah, they should be telling the truth about geoengineering. Just because one country says no to the Paris Agreement doesn't mean they're not going to keep spraying you. Big applause to Donald Trump for visibly exiting the Paris Agreement. Now, this line here is the conicity is going to force stuff up as this radar does that fulcrum sweep, right? The motion. This is just motion. Okay, as it'll pivot at a point here, that one, and this one is pivoting on a point here. Okay, so it's hemming all this stuff into there for an event that's coming up. The flow that's creating this one here is hemming here, because that was a beam from a different station. And you can see where the haze is different in the clouds itself through that path of where the beam came. And we know that this fulcrum is coming this direction because it's spinning on a pivot point here. So the beam is just going like that. Right, scalar square boundaries will stop that as a resistance and force things along those lines. And further beaming actions from other stations, like there's been one V from through here. I got to say, this area here is very seismically active, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a low 3, high 2 earthquake in some of these areas that are having all these intersecting waveforms. Because seismicity, I notice, has a direct correlation with earthquakes that I've seen. Yeah, we can cause a lot. If I show you what's common, you'll see some of these flows. But I think it's most important now is I go over where is this headed next, and then I'll go into some of the geo. So I'm actually going to let this run and agree or disagree. Because it's hitting a flow boundary here where things are going to react a little different. You see this wedge shape here? And it's a beam that's coming from over here at Gimpy. You see all this stuff down here? Here, I'll step it. So we got to determine where is this pinned, where is this made to flow. And that's really, it's not a guessing game at all. You just got to read the geoengineering, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to pull up this image here and show you what do I see and what am I thinking about when I see this. Okay, and I'll do a little dry down the screen like I've been doing. And there's red, so I hope he's okay. Really not asking for feedback. I'll be able to tell later. Now this one's done a half moon, right, like that. So flow here is hard. Things just tend to go that way. Flow here, because that's on, will flow along the flat. So the flat on this one is here. See that? And Gimpy's radar, next red did that. And I could show you that one, but it's pretty easy to find on the map. Oops, I didn't mean that to do that. It's hard for me to use my thumb on the screen and hold this mouse, so just bear with me. This is not the best thing. I'd say something is pointing here. Would you? I'm looking at lines, okay? And where do they intersect? It's right here. Look at this area here. Come on. How about that? Right there. Now if we look in the center of that, something is deploying here. Right there. It's, everything's pointing at it. So we need to know what did that. But it has definitely split these flows in some of these storms into separate cells. And each one of these is going to have air rush in both directions from its path, hot towards cold. So you'll start to see separation boundaries in the storm cells themselves. And it looks like the aiming lines of this one is clearly showing a slide across Rainbow Beach. We got to watch that. And when they do that, there's going to be a flow back here that's going to go somewhere else. And so we'll try to have a peek at and see if we can accurately determine where this is going to go tonight. Because storms at night are the worst. And this here has a lot of potential to fuel up. Because when I see this here, and I'm going to just go right at it, you know, this is Rob D, how he thinks about geoengineering 101. My accuracy is very good. The cone is this way. Moisture is being pushed in this direction. Got to flow here, here, and here. If this was a hydraulic syringe of some kind or piston, each one of these is pushing, and this will move as a line. That'll clump up. That'll clump up. That'll clump up. Keep adding more chem into each one of these quadrants here. Right, that's a quadrant. My pen is falling out of my hand. This radar is on. This radar is still the half moon, so it's created a flow that's going to curve. And so if you've been getting some storms in this area tonight, this is why. Yeah, I just drew a set of balls. Try growing this shit instead of pointing it out some of you. Oh, he fucking owned your ass. Now this thing here going across that Mount Perry is not as volatile, but it's extremely organized, right? You see it? This is the future path of it. It's heading just north of a giant over there. It looks like it'll pick up a bunch of ions off this lake and it maybe just slide just north here, and it's packing a fucking wallop of water. And hail I see is possible, but the spinning of this storm isn't as organized. But this lake will have ion effect on the storm, and it reflects radar beams back up towards the sky differently than foliage will, or terra unfirma, the world without form, if you will. If this is the golden age, it's the age of golden showers. That's for fucking sure, I have got to say. So as this line connects, the electrics of this storm is going to connect. So all this is going to shock up north. So I am a bit worried about Childers and over through here as this storm connects. So we have to look now at the chem in this corridor and see, is it possibly about to do a connection where the electrics of up here will then connect with that down there. And this is the last data I have. And boy, did you get bug sprayed down south of here. Nobody's been spared. Again, the beam sweat is quite visible in this radar image here, coming up through here. You can see the gap it left in the cloud here, this point here, and it's going all the way through. So I can read beams in this image. I can. I'll show you. Da, 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 da. Bombs. Da, 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 da. The truth. Da, 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 da. Doesn't care about my opinion. Gap with bomb dots. Go ahead and pull this image up. You can still get this on yourself. You do this yourself. There's a pin line right here where the storm is pinned. There's a pin line here where the storm is pinned, and boy did they put off chem bombs. You see that there looking like one of those Italian fried little cakes that you get? Yeah, they're delicious, light, greasy. Cook things in tallow. See the EMF here? Doing the chemical catalyst on the side. Something came along in a line and deployed through here. So the EMF can ride between these, echoing, right? Increasing the heat of the molecules and causing an outflow boundary. That this has it's a path of resistance. And where's the least resistance? Well, from you guys. I mean, over here in this direction. Yeah, as this thing is going to truck north a bit through here. So, Gladstone, be very vigilant yourselves, because I'm seeing some terrible, terrible, terrible totals that show it up. Terrible totals. Watch how this feeds in and from out to sea. Keep your eye on this. It's not a morning glory, man. That's a wave, and it's long, and it goes all the way through to here, and you can trace the curve pattern of it for quite a vast distance. Boom, boom. You got a ship out here simulating a mountain range. See right here? Let's see another frame. Mouse is sliding all over. There we go. See the puffing bombness of that? The old bomber. Boom, boom. Just keep looking at that spot. Booming and a pluming. Boom, looking like old alien face over here. Alien face. Would you look at the kelp? Hi. That's Mr. Hanky, isn't it? Shitting up your day. Yeah, and all that made a boundary again for EMF to guide things in toward this direction. It's a tendril of moisture being moved, condensated. What a fucking shame. Would you look at the guilt here, Mike? Would you like a few extra particles in your sky? Chem bombs, they came and took away your sunny sky. The acid that they spray seems to have made my garden die. The bird is wiping his eyeballs with his wings. I think I'm gonna cry. Chem bombs, they came and took away your sunny skies. Chem bombs. What a fucking shame seeing this shit plumage. Simultaneous plumination. Na 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 na. Chem bam 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 faster. Bam 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 bam. Chem bam bam bam. Simultaneous combination of all these at once. You can't tell me the dynamics from here to here to here as is the same all the way across this desert. You've had some temperature differences of about 20 degrees from the mid 40s over to about 22 in some places along this area that have cooled down quite rapidly in some of their areas. So I'm going to let that roll now. Because just looking at this here is getting me want to start swearing. And well, I don't want to start swearing when I see him simulating a moving mountain range right here. That's a waveform sweeping slowly, changing what altitude things move to. Like I angle that beam up, right? Like this. Get a shot. Doesn't matter which one frame I use. So what I can do is this, and it's what is done. If this, let's look at an altitude, right? This is height, okay? This is way up. This is you walking and looking at the oh my god of it all. Beam can come along, aim like that, and so the dynamics of over here then goes up, or I can aim in the other direction and cause things to move down. And that also very often is what I see mixing together things. Like that waveform will take that mass of stuff, and I don't know which direction it's going to move it yet until I see it occur. Or I could go look at temperature change differences on my maps, and it'll tell me everything. Big waveforms through here, highly seismically active here right now, I'd have to say, especially right about where I'm pointing, right about there. There, that town. Bzzz, getting fried, getting fried. North of the Crackle Bitty Roadhouse. God, I want to go there one day and just smile in front of the sign. Would you look at the spray that went over Tazzy? Holy fucking shit. That's the nasties. That's the big nasties there. Wow, that's headed for your nostrils, New Zealand. Have it. Toxic air alert over coming for New Zealand for tomorrow. And getting your fucking arc time nearly for the far north here. So I'm going to roll through some of the totals, what's to be expected, and we'll go back and look at these storms one more time, and then I've got to put this down. My fucking head hurts. I've done too much. And if I turn this off, I won't be tempted to do that again. That hurt. All right, let's go through the forecast of more of what I think is going to happen. For once, I got to go GFS. And then he showed it raining at all, right? But my concern is this. I want to nearly go right to it. Right? You have the daily temperature differences, which are going to matter quite a bit. So this will be about the time mid-afternoon your time. And you see where the rain has created cool pockets because evaporation is a cooling process. Just write that down. That's just physics. It's how it works. It's undeniable. Inarguable. Ooh, some big colds coming in here that's going to feed up the coast. Look at this here. My big nipply through there. Oh, the 11s are coming up. It's in the summertime when the weather is cold and the K-bombs came and flooded out my home. Bam, bam, bam. Chemmy, bamby, 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 bams. Yeah, I'm really worried about the first of the month and around then. So these volatile storms from the pressures fighting here as the steamer is coming over here to absolutely shellac the shoreline. And not do the biggest totals in the world, which I'm happy to see. Yep, I'm in a mood. Keep it honest. I'm tired of seeing lies about the weather. I'm tired of hearing a bunch of fucking climate change bullshit, and I'm absolutely applaud President Trump for executive ordering us away from the Paris Agreement that the United States was chained to an endless lie of trillions and trillions of dollars and bilking of funding for fucking chicken littles. The sky is heating kind of a thing. You see that whip around moved over there coming on Sunday overnight over there, Hawke's Bay? And we got to watch this because it could not crush. It could go right over Auckland and park. There's a chance this is going to come here and park, right? Because this island over here is beaming, and it's made a drag over here with a wall of resistance for the moisture, that kind of drag. You'll see a lot of wind shear happening then. Big clouds will cloud up the area. Yeah, this isn't good, man. This is the setup. I want to just go right to it. Yeah, I'm tired of it. Just waiting for the screen to go past. You guys got some wets down south. But man, this corridor up here is about to get it. Oh my God. You don't want to have to travel here. Every forecast is finally agreeing it's going to happen. It's just how much is coming in the tendrils. And I've done a determinant, and that picture I showed you with 800 mil is very, very possible because I'll show you how much water they moved your way already. It's coming. It's being pushed across the tropics down to south of the equator, and it's aiming Queensland's way. And I'm telling you what, some of these storms are packing. Absolutely packing a belting amount of water. You know, over a centimeter and 3/4 an hour coming down. You don't want 15 minutes of that staying, and some of these are going to park for that hour. Yeah, this is going to be some really, really rough moments for these folks here. And I can show you all the graphics of each area that's going to have this tendril dropped on them. Because here's the tendril right here. It's moving across the tropics right here, right now. I'll stop it on the last frame and show you the main tendril movement over here in this area. If I do that without the mouse. I've got a thumb that's broken in 2 spots and we're waiting for the final x-rays on it. I've got it mobilized the best I can. I'm using comfy cream. It's the best we can do. Comfort cream. And no, I don't have any metal in my body for the cream to direct. Right, we've got tendril. This is the dividing line right there. I'm going to change colors. Now here it helps if you change it. Right, there's your dividing line of moisture. This is heading this way. All this is headed your way. This is headed your way. Now that's tendril 1, tendril 2, tendril 3 and 4. And reverse the order of their arrival. I don't know where this is going yet. It should ride that way. All right, so this is the amount of water. If we zoom back on this map, right here, if I did the world map, and you see how much percentage of the world's water itself is over the top here, it's over 1/16 of all the world's water is in this area. If I included this area here, you'd have 1/3 of all the world's water in one spot. And this is now going to be moved in this direction. The syringe is here. If I do another screenshot of it, so you have a clear board. I just wiped the chalkboard. How cool is that? Right. The area of conicity is here. Alright, the lines that the EMF is going to use, the viscosity, momentum of this mix is pushing that into that. Then that moves, then that moves, then that moves. Like drafting cars behind each other in a line or bicycles in a race. The line along the coast here is your dividing line of flow. We've got one here. Alright? Now we're talking 6 days, 5-6 days away. The slant is here. And that's where they'll do the directing from. So we've got to be ever so vigilant to see where these tendrils get moved to as they use the big beams to manipulate the big rivers of moisture. Okay? We are going to be very, very vigilant. That sucker is dead. Hey, like I said, they killed that the other day, so it's of no consequence. Yeah, and you'll see these little stripy look to here, that line through here. That's heating your asses up. That's the roaster. Yeah, that's the roaster that's on it. To say which facility is doing it would require me to have more data than I'm willing to dive into today. But you see the sweat of the beam through here. I might as well just do it. You know, just pick a frame. That'll do it. Okay, let me show you. This is a live look at your weather. This is geoengineered, and geoengineering doesn't have a forecast. It has a plan. Planning requires architecture, and engineering requires knowledge. So I have some knowledge I'm going to share with you now. You've got a device that's located right here out to sea, or one of the island out there that I'm not identifying on here. And its pulse is moving moisture in this direction and temperature differential from what's out here in behind this storm. Okay, I've got pulse square here with the heating. That's what these lines are simulating. Now, if I see all these lines start intersecting in one spot, I get concerned. This is that swirly girl doing a beam. Now you got a beam down coast here. And I'm just doing a quick loop. New Zealand got fried there. You got a ship over here, fired up coast all the way through there. It's a big boy, and one here. So that's preparing the dynamics to sweep that direction. You got one already behind it here, pretty well defined beam actually, right there, and it's pulsed. So we just pivot the wrist here, and the momentum of the sweep will carry that there. Which leaves this area open to have different dynamics. You guys up there are fucked. Absolutely fucked. There ain't a doubt in my mind how fucking fucked you are. You guys are so fucked. The new definition of fucked is going to be you guys. This is just a few hours or something over there in one area there that I'm watching for those days. And I'm about to show you some not nice beginning of a month. But if somebody don't tell you, you ain't going to know. Yeah, this is bad, man. And this is the low estimate. This is a very low estimate on here. Yeah, this is the nesties, the absolute nesties. So I'll bring you closer to how much you getting from today on. Not much through the 29th, is it? Right? And though we go over there, it's the holy fucking shit of it all. And I go over here and hit ECMW. You go, oh my fucking god, what these poor folks over here. Caldwell, Lucinda, when you're showing over a half a meter, and offshore you got another fucking big blast of off. This is bad, man. Really, really bad. Right? Yeah, I'm just telling you, we're gonna have to watch the tendrils. We're gonna have to know that this map lies to us a whole fucking hell of a lot. A whole lot. But when I see the Can corridor, Innisfail, Tully going this far inland, having an absolute devastating flood. This is devastating. And I told you guys a while ago, a heads up. So I'm going to tell you again, let's be vigilant. Let's keep our heads up. Let's keep our chins up and our fists out. And let's keep our brains in our head. And let's remember what logic is. Big love. Stay safe. Peace.